live presentation of CBC Sports.
The Smythe Division semifinal moved from the Saddle Dome to Vancouver's Pacific Coliseum for Game 3. And before they dropped the puck, we wondered who the heroes might be. The Flames' Joe Nieuwendyk staked his claim when he banked one in off Kirk McLean's chest. Joey Mullen, Calgary's leading point getter over the course of the regular season, counted his second goal of the playoffs. Mike Vernon kept his bid for a first-ever playoff shutout alive when he robbed the Canucks' Rich Sutter. But the hero in Game 3 was the Calgary Flames' 28-year-old Swede, Håkan Lund. After a scoreless tie in the first period, Lund began the scoring in the second when he rifled one in through the pads of McLean. Then, just like a hero should, he finished the Calgary scoring with a nifty wraparound, his third of the playoffs, and the Flames had a 2-1 series lead. Tonight, the quest for the Stanley Cup continues.
Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Side of the net, scramble, they score! Over the Fleury shot, save, rebound, they score! That loose puck, oh, they score!
Back to Suter, he lets it go.
They score! In front of the net, Linden shoots, scores! There it is. Once again, McDonald, he scores! He did it! 500!
Not since 1982 have the Canucks ventured past the first round in the playoffs. 7 years later, the Canucks head coach Bob McCammon is faced with a monumental headache, lack of goal production. In the regular season, Vancouver sparkled defensively, but were dead last in goals for. The Canucks cashed in on 19% of their power play chances during the regular season. During the playoffs, the power play seems to have run out of gas, but that's good compared to Calder Trophy candidate Trevor Linden, still looking for his first playoff point. Also mired in a playoff scoring slump, the Canucks' flying Finn, Petri Striko. Goals and more goals. Vancouver's #1 objective in their Smythe Division semifinal against the Flames.
Brought to you by Molson Canadian. What beer's all about. By Ford of Canada, where quality is more than a commitment. Quality is job one. By Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. By Esso retailers and agents across Canada.
Welcome to Game 4 in the Smythe Division semifinal between the Canucks and Flames. To say this is a do-or-die situation for the Canucks might be putting it mildly. They can ill afford to go back to Calgary trailing the series 3-1, but they've got to figure out a way to score some goals. After a scare in the opening game, the Flames have settled down and are dominating every aspect of the game. But more importantly, they've been allowed to play their game. However, if the Canucks can recapture the magic of the opening game, this could still be an interesting series. If not, the Flames can start concentrating on the Smythe Division final. Two more Canadian teams are in action tonight. Montreal's in Hartford, and the Oilers are hosting the LA Kings. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. At the Northlands Coliseum, the Oilers open the scoring with just under 5 minutes gone in the first period. McClellan with a pass to Charlie Huddy, and his shot beats Kelly Rudy. Huddy's second goal of the playoffs. The Kings get that one back 2 minutes later when Gretzky passes to Dave Taylor, who finds Steve Duchesne. He has time to beat Brad Fuhrer, and it's tied at 1. The Oilers regain the lead when Kevin Lowe headmans to Jimmy Carson. Rudy makes the save, but Carson hangs tough and knocks home the loose puck. It's 2-1 Edmonton. LA tie it up again with another goal from that scoring whiz, Chris Kontos, his fifth of the playoffs, Nichols and Gretzky assisting. The Kings take the lead for the first time with a goal from Tom Laidlaw. The defenseman beats Fuhrer high. It's 3-2. LA after 2 periods of play. In Hartford tonight, where the Whalers need a win to keep their series alive, Hartford scored the only goal in the first period. A Babbage shot, and Ray Ferraro is there to beat Patrick Waugh. Montreal tie the game early in the second. Smith with a pass to Mats Naslund on the left side. His blast beats Kay Whitmore to make it 1-1. The Habs take the lead with a goal at 7:08 from Stéphane Richer. Similar to his goal in overtime, it goes right through the pads. And it's 2-1 Montreal. The Habs make it 3-1 in the third period, and it'll be a power play goal. Now, Bobby Smith gets credit for the goal. You'll see Keane running interference. That makes it Montreal 3, Hartford 1. And then Hartford make it 3-2. Dave Babbage with his first of the playoffs. Montreal lead by 1 in the third period. Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC returns in a moment.
This is a research laboratory. It tries and fails to make Castrol motor oil break down. It's the place where Castrol is torture tested to meet the requirements of those who punish motor oil the most. You. The everyday Canadian driver. Castrol XLR, the oil engineered for today's cars.
Шум. Ну почему столько шум? Эй, мужик!
Not very long ago, the Soviet Union got its first taste of Pepsi. And while it may be just a coincidence,
Посмотри себя. Почему ты так одет?
a lot of refreshing changes have been taking place ever since.
Вот эти.
Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Юрочка, не бери в голову.
Good evening again, everybody. This is Bob Cole along with John Garrett in the broadcast booth here at the Pacific Coliseum. And the referee getting ready to start this game is Kerry Fraser. Kevin Collins and Mark Fines will be on the lines again tonight. The goaltenders, Mike Vernon for Calgary, 21 shots last game, earning his first shutout of the season and his first ever in the playoffs. Bob McCammon has made a switch. John?
Steve Weeks played very well this year. His record doesn't show it, but he had a better goals against average than his partner Kirk McLean and a better save percentage. His problem was the Canucks had trouble scoring goals all year, especially when Steve Weeks was in the net.
Calgary leading the series 2-1. A shutout in game 3. McCown and McCrimmon are starting on the defense. Newendijk, Roberts, and Lube up front as they go into the Vancouver zone. Nordmark and Melnick on the defense for the Canucks. In on the boards. They try to hold it. Newendijk trying to knock it loose. Referee Kerry Fraser allows the play to continue. And the Flames are on it quickly. McCown at the blue line took a shot that's deflected up high. Flames are on it. In the early going, outskating the Canucks inside the line. It's slapped to the corner again by Newendijk. Melnick takes it behind the goal. Lead pass ahead. It's picked off by Patterson. He nearly got in. And Weeks, I know, is wondering what is happening. They're inside that blue line and can't get out.
Scratches for the Calgary Flames. Rick Natras is hurt. Joe Mullen has the flu. Tim Hunter and Brian McClellan out of the lineup. Coach's decision. For the Vancouver Canucks, Kevin Guy, Jim Benning, Ken Berry, Ron Stern has a twisted neck. He's out of the lineup. Darryl Stanley is out. Paul Reinhardt, a big part of this Canuck team. He's being hit. He looks tired in this series. The Flames are going after Reinhardt, as they should.
The winner of this year's Helping Hand Award here in Vancouver, Paul Reinhardt. More popular Canucks. He has to be the leader of the team if they want to get this thing going and even it up. But Calgary, you know, would love to win this tonight. Going home, they'll have a stranglehold and moving on into the next round. Long shot on Vernon by Adams. Anderson picks it up in his own zone. Ahead to Gilmore. He tried to get going. And the Canucks are offside. Action around the playoff circuit tonight. Here's Steve with this update.
Thank you, Bob. In Hartford, Brian Lawton ties the game at 3. You'll see Francis try a wraparound. Lawton is there to knock home the loose puck. It's Hartford 3, Montreal 3. So we've got overtime for the second game in a row. Bob?
Well, it's close, but then again, it isn't close. The Canadians with the upper hand, and overtime again, Steve says. We'll let you know what happens. We're just a minute and a half into the first period here. No score. Flames look like they want to attack early. Going into the corner. Popinski was bumped. Bozak takes over for Vancouver. Bozak flipped it on the boards and got it out goes around the goal and now starts away with the right wing pass. Hunter slapped one in. Weeks made sure it got into the corner. Kept in by Verdina. Verdina dropped it back, and he played, and the shot is kicked out by Weeks. Good scoring chance for the Calgary Flames, and they're still at it in there. Again, McCrenna moves up. Backhands it in off the boards into the corner and around the net. Fleury forechecking. Sandlak is stopped at the line, and the play is offside. 2.5 minutes into the opening period. No score here. A little farther north at Edmonton, the Kings have taken the lead in the third period by a goal. And they're into overtime now. That's 3-3, really. Canadians and Hartford in overtime. And a final can't be. Bruins lead the series 3-1. We'll keep you posted on that one. We'll get it straight. Here's one final for you. Philadelphia tying the series. Told you that would be a long one. Sutter has the puck for Vancouver. Rolled it ahead on the wing. Bradley couldn't go in. Town got it out again. Nordmark fired it in. McCrimmon turns. Around the net. He was chased, but in a neat play, getting the pass ahead. Fleury had a stick lifted by Squeako, who came up behind him. Fleury got back to help out in the defensive zone. Sutter missed it. He'll come back to center to pick it up. Drops it all the way back. Butcher tried to give it to Sutter, and it was deflected over the boards at the bench. Now we got it straight. They're in overtime at 3 apiece. And this is the final. Boston defeated Buffalo 3-2. And the Bruins leading the series. Here it is. Pittsburgh with a 2-goal lead and threatening to send Esposito into an 0-for-6 tailspin as a coach. Chicago giving Detroit the headache they thought they might have against the Blackhawks. And the Blues just might wind it up as they lead. Linden shoots it in. Coming back is McGinnis. Laid it up along the boards. The Canucks keep it in there. Merson takes it, fired into the far side. Canucks showing a little more zip now. They try to center it, a scramble in front of the net. It's knocked him back for the goal. Smeal got in front, couldn't find it though. And the Flames just dump it out to center ice. Coming up to the 4-minute mark. They're being rather careful and cautious so far. Really wide open, not yet anyway. Intercepted at the line. Now McGinnis is knocked down. The play goes on. In comes Tanny. Tanny right in. And his low shot just missed. And the play is called. Here's the first penalty of the game. Calgary does not like this. But the first penalty comes here. To McGinnis.
The amazing new Festiva is not only fun to drive, it's also remarkably easy to park. A very remarkable Festiva. At Ford and Mercury dealers.
The Oilers have just tied the game in Edmonton. It's a shot from Norman Lacombe that Herudi just plain misses. A shot from well out. It comes at 5:16. A 3-3 tie at the Northlands Coliseum. Bob?
Thanks, Steve. John, as a goaltender, you don't like to see those shots go in.
A rocket short side by Norm Lacombe. In Kelly Rudy's defense, his defenseman for no reason skated right in front of him as Lacombe started to shoot the puck.
Screened him.
McGinnis takes a penalty. He was hauled down earlier. This could be a retaliation penalty. He's taking Greg Adams to the net outside the frame. On the left-hand side of that picture, he's off for cross-checking.
If Vancouver wants to do anything with this series, they've got to get something going on the power play. It has been desperate, to say the least.
Power play is 1 for 20 22, Terry Crisp says that they haven't done anything special against the Vancouver Canucks. They've just respected the Canucks power play from the first of the year when it carried the offense. They have stuck to Reinhart and Nordmark on the point and have let the three guys down low try and handle it.
The Canucks line up just outside the line. That's Bradley, number 10. Trying to kick it back. It comes loose. Near center ice, and center got it back to Nordmark on the other side, and Nordmark again. From Reinhart. Shoots it in there. Went in behind the net. Vernon couldn't stop it. Back to the line. Reinhart winds up. Shoots. Right in front of the net on the backhander. Just missing. A low shot by Strico. He had a good chance as he got the rebound. Minute and a half left on this power play for Vancouver. And it is Reinhart with the crowd starting to make some noise now. Lifted in by Bradley, and it's waved off. No icing. Canucks keep it in. They'll try to pass it around. Out to the line to Reinhart. Again, Nordmark. Nordmark got it ahead to Strico. Reinhart again. Shoots it. Vernon got it, but the rebound was there again, but nobody could get near it. McCowan trying to shoot it down the ice off the glass, but he got past the glass along the blue line, and it went into the Calgary bench, and that brings about the face-off back in their own zone.
One of the few times the Canucks point men have been able to get the shot. Reinhart let it go through a maze of players, but again, Mike Vernon in that stand-up style in perfect position made the save.
Such a long time since Vancouver has had a shot at anything in the playoffs, and a real lively crowd here this season. They'd love to have a goal now to really get something going. I guess it would get rather noisy in here should the Canucks get a goal. They have a minute left on the penalty, and Reinhart takes another shot. It's deflected in front of the net. These are always dangerous. Reinhart keeping the shot low. Linden is on the ice now. He's coming out with that big range, gets it back, and there's another shot just wide. Adams on the puck in the corner. Another penalty coming up against Calgary. It's centered. Scramble. Reinhart moving in. But the Flames pick it up. And here's the penalty call. It's against Calgary. And Suter is going to get this penalty. 35 seconds left in the McGinnis penalty.
Tony Tanny in front of the net. He's hit by Gary Suter, and Tony Tanny, like we were describing Joey Mullet, is just touched by Gary Suter, and he goes down, but Tanny does that an awful lot. You have to watch it when you hit Tony Tanny because you know he's going to take the dive and put the pressure on the referee. There, Suter just hardly touched him. Tanny went down and drew the penalty.
And the crowd starts to roar again. 35 seconds with a two-man advantage. If the Canucks don't get one here, John.
Big thing here is the face-off. The Flames have Joel Otto, one of the best in the league, taking the draw for them.
Against Linden. Linden tied him up. Puck is loose in there, and the Canucks have it. Now Linden takes a look around to Nordmark, over to Reinhart. Passes into the side of the net. Great save by Vernon. And the Flames are going to clear it out. That was Patterson. He has been super killing penalties for the Flames in this series. Now then, Nordmark coming in. Nordmark shoots it off the boards. 10 seconds left in the McGinnis penalty. It's still a two-man advantage. Flames keep the Canucks on the outside, but now Linden looks back. Linden passes Nordmark. Linden again coming in. Shoots! Rebound is there. Scramble for it. The Flames are doing a noble job. Reinhart gets it back. Nordmark passes off. Back to Nordmark. He mishandled it. Now poked it ahead. It's a one-man advantage for Vancouver now. Nordmark lost it. The Flames get it out of the zone. Down across center. Otto battling to get the puck out. Linden poked it ahead. Strico has to turn back from Hokenloo. Now the play up the center, and he dumped it in. McCown goes around the net, cleared on the boards, and
be very frustrating for Bob McCammon, Jack McElhargy, one of the assistant coaches behind the bench, and all these Canucks. They can't get something going for a score on the power play. Gilmore trying to hook it back. Sandlak was out of position. Sandlak gets the puck on the draw. Sandlak again has to back it up a bit. Butcher behind the net. 8 seconds left in the Flames penalty. The Canucks make another rush to center. Into Lidster, and that's broken up, and the penalty will be killed. It's a pretty good job for Calgary early in this hockey game. 2 players short. They got away with it, and then kill the second penalty. Long shot from center is deflected in. In back to the net, play called. And we've got a penalty coming up against the Vancouver Canucks. Bridgman elbowing.
Now when you pull into an Esso station, you're going to get something new. Something with improved cleaning power. Something that is designed for better performance. A premium gasoline. A premium gasoline that can help deliver peak performance in cars that demand more than regular. Announcing the launch of new Esso Supreme gasoline.
Aggressive forwards. Mel Bridgman would be about their only one without Ronnie Stern in the lineup there. He's overly aggressive, gets the hands and stick and elbows up, takes the elbowing penalty.
And if you think the Flames haven't got a lift so far in this game, look again, because they've killed penalties and now they have the man advantage. So they'll be all afire. They've had just the one shot on the net so far. Mind you, they've been shorthanded. 2 players at one point. Ducks will try to shoot it out. That's Sutter slapping at it. He puts it right on the net. Vernon leaves it for Al McGinnis. Otto swings to the right. Gilmore to the left. Flurry up on the play also as McGinnis shoots it in. There goes Big Otto. Snaps, took a whack at it, and it got over the boards at the far side. Over the glass into the crowd. Face off in the Vancouver zone. 3-3 tie at the Northlands Coliseum in the third. They're in overtime. We haven't got a report on it yet. It's in Hartford. We'll let you know. The final, the Boston Bruins have taken a 3-1 lead in the series, defeating Buffalo. And the Philadelphia Flyers giving Washington a tough time, winning 5-2. Speaking of tough times, the Rangers could be gone. Pittsburgh leading by 2 in the second period. Chicago leading Detroit 2-1. St. Louis, a 1-goal lead, and they're in the third. We'll keep you posted. No score here. Flames with the man advantage. Fleury kept it in. At the line, Fleury again, but he missed it this time. Sutter comes down the right side and didn't get the pass. Bozak tried to hit him with the pass. Fleury leads this rush through the middle. Doesn't get very far. Lidster standing up. Stopped it. Minute 15 seconds left in the Bridgman penalty. Flames organizing and coming out again as McGinnis. He'll shoot it from center. In on the boards. Weeks going behind the net to stop it. Now he leaves it there for Butcher. Played him an open man, and out it goes. Strico coming in. Gets the shot, but it was blocked in front by McGinnis. 50 seconds left in the power play for Calgary Flames. Fleury stepping across the line, hitting center. High one goes in, it bounced right back near the blue line, and it was clear. 40 seconds left on the penalty now. Bridgman is in the penalty box. No score, and the Flames power play coming up. Verdina left it at the line, and right there, it was cleared by Bozak. Only 25 seconds left in the penalty now. So both teams, stellar jobs, while shorthanded early in this game. Suter slaps it from center, 15 seconds left on the penalty to Bridgman. Butcher takes it and ripped it right away, and it got by Suter. Sutter tried to race up for it, and he couldn't get there in time. Bozak is in, but they're offside. They kill the penalty, 2 seconds left in Bridgman's penalty.
Say, hello? Excuse me? You look like a Lotto 636 and 649 player. Then you play the Plus. Well, you should. The Plus gives you more ways to win. And that means cash. And that turns into anything you want. Ah, I see you already have a few things in mind. So what will you do when you play your favorite Lotto game? That's right. Say yes to the Plus.
No score here. Still tied in Edmonton. No report from Hartford yet. They're in overtime, the Canadians and the Whalers. The teams are at full strength now with Gilmore trying to stick handle in. Gilmore dropped it back. He was tied up and Gilmore gets it again to the line. Gilmore laid it back to McCrimmon. He slapped it in. And it was deflected and Weeks was alive and he made the save with a stick. To be careful with that one. Deflected right in front of him. Bridgman stopped as he tried to go in against McCown. That's McCrimmon circling. Gets it out near the line. Through the middle. That does not work. Otto went over to bump Smith, who's playing in his first game in this series. Adams comes to center. Gives it to Smith. Up over the line. Dropped the pass in behind him. It's centered to Adams. And covering up in front was Big McCown. He was nailed then on the boards, and McCown retaliated, and he is going to go.
A good hit by Doug Smith on McCown, and McCown gets that stick up and retaliates.
Well, he's going. That was rather mild, though. McCown goes for elbowing here at 10:39. Little bumping along the boards, and the Calgary Flames are short-handed again. 9:21 left in the period. There's no score. Shots are 6-1 for the Canucks.
That Flames power play, they didn't get a shot on net. They never had a chance to get set up, but they're using a lot of new people tonight. Erdina was out there. Riakin was out briefly for the Calgary Flames.
Reinhardt upended at the blue line. And the Flames get it down. Two of them coming over the line. Otto dropped it back. Canucks pick it up and sweep out of there. Adams straight to the line with Bridgman. Dropped it back to Linden going in. He set it up. Score!
Trevor Linden, his first point ever in the NHL playoffs. A perfect pass to Bridgman. He waits for Vernon to go down, and the old veteran puts it up over Mike Vernon. Watch Vernon, he has to come across. Can't get there fast enough. Mel Bridgman puts it right upstairs.
At 11:01, and that was a great play by Linden to Bridgman. Beautiful pass as he went in. And of course, Vernon had to watch Linden. And he couldn't cover the entire net. The pass was a beauty to Bridgman. 1-0 Vancouver. Long shot right into Vernon. Lane's trying to get the puck out. Near the line, Lidstrom stopped it. Had to throw it in toward the net. Knocked down by Bozak. Bozak left it in the corner, and Suter takes over for Calgary. Delaney McDonald on for the first time, and he gets it out of the zone and down the ice. Canucks lead. The goal by Bridgman. Sandlak threw it up to the middle. It's dropped back at Bridgman again. He tried to center it in front. It was cleared. Lidster backs up with Snaps. Crowd in a happier mood now. Snaps ships it in. We're told the Rangers have been eliminated in 4, and Pittsburgh will advance. That's the first series that ends. This one very much alive. The Vancouver Canucks shooting it in. McCown goes back, picked it up, and flipped it to Roberts. He's coming out. Neuendijk takes it across center and goes in. Neuendijk stick handling in there beautifully. Throw it over in front of the net. Weeks can't find it, but the Canucks are there to clear it out. Pass to Bradley.
every day we're coming through for you. NRS. We're showing you our colors. NRS.
National Real Estate Service.
And as you see the score here, the Canucks leading 1-0 with 7:06 left in this first period. Up at the Northlands Coliseum, they're still tied. LA and the Kings are in the third period. Pittsburgh has defeated the Rangers 4-3. They win that series in 4 straight games. They must be going nuts down at Madison Square Garden. Canadians and the Whalers in overtime. We have no report yet.
Not jubilation. I'm sure they're all over Phil Esposito. He wanted to try and get his team on a roll by making a change. That sure didn't work.
Smith, number 21, seeing his first action, comes in to take the face-off for Vancouver. And finally, they line up. Smith has to get that stick down. The Calgary player was ready to go. I don't know if there's any need to be this long throwing the puck in. The fans don't like it. The linesman has a certain way before he'll drop it in, and they must adhere to the rules. Boy, it takes a long time. It must drive a goaltender crazy.
Just throw the center out right away, and then the next guy will take the drop for sure.
Bucks trying to bring it out. Left the line, it's stopped, but Adams got it back again. He goes in with Smith, takes his shot, he just missed. A low shot going for the far side, wasn't off the net by much. Wardmark had his pass, hop over to stick at center. Adams couldn't pick it up. 6:30 left in the period. 1-0 Vancouver. And Weeks has to stop this one. Along the ice to him. Lidster and Snips get together to bring it out. Snips to center. Patterson chased him. McCown knocked it down. And Gilmore flipped it down the ice with Weeks. He's 40 feet out of the net. Just about. The two defensemen were caught up the ice. Snips come back in time to help. Now Linden again with Adams. Linden coming in. Adams couldn't quite find it in front of Vernon. Linden making some good plays here in the first period. Here's Gilmore. He can do it too. And the quick shot by Patterson is blocked by Weeks. And Weeks, playing his first game, hangs on.
In Canada, certain formal situations call for a dignified, refined approach.
Like a car, you got a hubcap, diamond styler.
It's called
Built like a car, oh yeah.
playing it cool.
Get it on, like a car.
Molson Canadian, the clean, cold taste of a genuine Canadian beer. What beer's all about.
Linden has struggled throughout these playoffs, but he's come alive here tonight. He already has an assist. Here's Sergei Pryakin coming back on Adams. Can't get to him. Adams just tipped it wide.
Flames now pressing. Flurry shot. It was stopped by Weeks. The rebound there. McGinnis now let one fly. And Weeks got the nice glove hand up. And he made the save. I'm not sure if that shot would have been on the side of the net or in fact inside the post, but Weeks didn't want to take any chances.
It's hard to describe Weeks' style. Sometimes he plays stand-up style, sometimes he flops around. Tonight he's been on his feet, has looked sharp. He's only stopped 3 shots, but he has looked sharp and confident.
Now McGinnis again. Broke the stick right in front of him. And Sandlak has to hustle for a new one. Along the bench, he picks it up and gets into the play as Butcher tried to shoot it in, but the play is called. High stick. So Fraser calling a lot of penalties. This one to Butcher.
In here, Bob.
Bills, bills, bills.
Yeah, tell me.
How does Fiji sound this year?
We can't afford Fiji.
2 free tickets to paradise.
What? How did you get that?
In the world of Canadian Plus, you can earn free trips fast. It's easy with our network of airline, rental car, and hotel partners, and our innovative credit card. Our world revolves around you.
We are Canadian.
Garth Butcher in the penalty box for high sticking here at 14:38. We're told less than 5 minutes remaining in the third period at the Northlands Coliseum. LA Kings and the Oilers are tied. 1-0 for the Canucks here. And just like last night, John, a very good first period.
The Canucks felt last night first goal was going to win the game no matter when it was scored. I'm sure they feel the same way here tonight.
Suter has to back up. Ian McGinnis on the Calgary defense. Lube circling back. Verdina to 17 on the left side. And Newendijk is up there as they shoot the puck in. Comes off the boards to Rich Sutter. Sutter was stopped back to the net. Bozak trying to get it out. He got it to the line. Calgary's power play working it around. Lube gets set. Dropped it back. McGinnis! Shot rebound. Just missed. Weeks got up in time to stop Verdina. And nearly went in on the short side. Weeks got up in time.
The Flames work the power play well to McGinnis. He gets the shot. Weeks makes the save. There, Doug Lidster does a good job to make sure that that Flame can't put it by Steve Weeks. He has time to get up on his feet and recover. Good pass by Luke to McGinnis. There's the original shot. Lidster comes in, makes sure that the Flame can't get the shot. The wraparound, Weeks has time to get up. Gary Hrdina, a Rookie of the Year candidate in the first half of the year, then struggled and was left in the press box a few games. Didn't see near as much ice time in the second half.
Harold Snap's doing a good job in front of Steve Weeks. Blocking shots again tonight. Puck high on the glass. Snaps after his man. In the corner. Luke gets it back to Suter. To McGinnis. Here's Luke coming in. He dropped it back. Newendijk shot. And Weeks is very sharp. Newendijk was in the slot and he had lots of time. He was wide open. But he got the shot low and Weeks. Right spot.
Yuri Hrdina talking to Newendijk. Hrdina was wide open on Weeks' left side. Newendijk chose to shoot it. I don't think he saw him. And Hrdina didn't say anything. It comes right to Newendijk. Look at Hrdina. Wide open. Didn't say anything. How's Newendijk supposed to see him?
Again, Suter at the blue line. McGinnis is there with him. Suter flipped it in. Side of the net. Hrdina is stopped. And Skriko got a stick on it to clear it down the ice. 1 minute left in the Vancouver penalty. 1-0. Canucks lead it. 4:15 remaining in the opening period. Again, McGinnis shoots it in. Canucks can't get it out. Suter kept it in, but there is the veteran. Snaps. And he cleared it. 40 seconds left on this penalty against Vancouver. And the Flames come in led by Suter again. Suter gets the zone. Flipped it up on the boards. Out of the net, Weeks. Gilmore passes back to Gilmore again from McGinnis. Now to Suter. It was deflected. Suter had to move on it. Canucks covering up fairly well in their own zone while killing this penalty. It's out over the line and Lidster puts the shot in high on Mike Vernon. 5 seconds left in the Vancouver penalty. They've killed another one. McGinnis from center. The penalty is over. McGinnis winding up. Oh, and a blistering shot. But it was off the net. It's centered now. McGinnis had lots of time to let her go. Boy, can he shoot him. They're like bullets. But fortunately for Weeks and the Canucks, he missed the net.
I'm Jim Martindale, and I'd like to tell you about the Garden Weasel. This 5-in-1 tool makes gardening fun and easy. The 3 rotary blades mesh with the topsoil, uprooting young weeds and creating a beneficial mulch. The Weasel cultivates to a uniform 2-inch depth. Remove the center blade for working around plants and vegetables. Use one blade for hard-to-reach areas. Made of a rust-free alloy, the Weasel is virtually self-cleaning. The Garden Weasel. Look for this display.
Available at Sears, Eaton's, Woolco, Canadian Tire, and participating Pro and Home Hardware.
Well, we're the last game to get underway here in Vancouver in the third period. About 2 minutes left in the third now. LA tied with Edmonton. They're in overtime. We still don't have a report. Playing overtime. Boston has defeated Buffalo, leading the series now. Washington losing to Philadelphia 5-2. That ties that series. 1-0 here. Canucks lead with 3 minutes remaining in period number 1. Patterson at the blue line. This hook one in off the boards in the corner. Smith was back to clear it out. Near center. Grimmett trying to fire it in again. Did not do it. Beyond number 16 for Soviet. The Stanley Cup action. Didn't get too far. Picked it up. Vernon out of the net. Tried to clear it himself and did up through the middle. Nordmark. Turning away. It's Tandy. Got it ahead. Hits Smith's skate. And he was bumped by McCrimmon. Smith stayed on his feet though. Trying to go in. There's going to be a penalty against the Calgary Flames. Good work by Smith to bring that penalty about.
Brad McCrimmon missed the check, and then Doug Gilmour had to come back. He was behind Smith. Smith had position. Gilmour had to reach around him. Right, there's a check by McCrimmon. He missed it. Now Gilmour is struggling. Hooks him from behind and reaches with the left hand, and there's the holding penalty.
You're called every time you get that hand off the stick and it's loose. You can't help but put the grab on the player, especially when he's in front of you. So another penalty. Gilmour is in the penalty box. The Canucks lead 1-0 with 2:20 left in the first period and a great chance to go up by 2. Bradley on the draw. And he wins it. He was tied up, however, and couldn't move by Big Otto, who now falls on it, and that'll bring him about another face-off. Patterson comes in, and he ran into Sutter from behind. More penalties, no doubt, because they have been swinging and pushing.
Patterson didn't like the way they were handling Joel Otto down on the ice, covering up the puck, and you can see the Canucks jabbing away, especially Rich Sutter. And there comes Patterson in, and he gives Sutter a shot. I'm sure Patterson and Sutter will go off.
Here's Rich Sutter. Lost the helmet in the melee. He's going off first. There's not been a claim yet. Let's go to Steve for this update.
Thank you, Bob. The Edmonton Oilers have just taken a 4-3 lead over the LA Kings with 26 seconds to play, third period. Messier with the shot. Steve Smith, the one-time Edmonton GOAT, jumping on the loose puck, putting it high. Edmonton 4, LA 3, 26 seconds to play. Bob?
Thanks, Steve. Well, that's at least 2 goals in this series for Steve Smith. A doubtful starter from the blue line, but his shoulder obviously is in shape, and now he's scoring. And they tell us it's the winning goal. Now Edmonton has won that game.
And Mark Messier driving to the net, creating that goal. 2 LA Kings had to go to Messier, and then Steve Smith comes in. Steve Smith's playing with a heavy brace in his shoulder, but still seems to be able to shoot the puck.
The only penalty called in the last play was the one to Rich Sutter. So they're even strengths now with 2:12 left in the period. Suter for Calgary back to the net. Loop was going to take the puck away from him and skate, but Suter didn't know that, and Loop tripped over the defenseman's stick. Less than 2 minutes to play in this first period. Butcher lifts the high one in. McGinnis and Suter get together. Up for Loop. He rolled it out to center, tried to hit Herdina with the pass. He missed him. And it's dropped back. On the other side, Reinhart comes to center. Lobbed a pass ahead. Loop broke it up. Slapped down the ice by Herdina. 1:30 left in the period. Butcher's left wing pass. Finding Reinhart. Linden trying to go in. Side of the net. Adams back to the goal. Upended. And the Flames. Newendijk gets it out. Played it down to Priak. Priak and the Soviet dropped it back. McGinnis got hard shot and Weeks. Again got the glove up. That looked pretty good going in on that wing and dropping it back. Somebody told him, whatever language, that McGinnis has the big shot.
The Soviets used that play with their defenseman Bergman coming up. Here, Priakin to McGinnis, a good shot. Again, a good save by Steve Weeks. Priakin did not go to the front of the net after he dropped the puck like most North Americans do. I guess with Al McGinnis, he's seen him enough in practice. Doesn't want to take one in the back.
54 seconds left in Gilmore's penalty, and a minute 1 in the Sutter penalty. And 1:14 on the clock in the period. 1-0 Vancouver. Nieuwendyk against Bradley on this draw to the left of Steve Weeks. Drop it in, it comes to Suter. He had to get rid of it. Slapped it in behind the net. Nordmark for Vancouver starting out. Skriko dropped it at the line, and Bradley will skate up the center with Nordmark stopping there. So Bradley had to shoot it in. Suter, the first one in there, but Bradley is on top of him, forechecking him. And Skriko gets a chance. He centered it, Bradley, right in the rebound. Oh, what a chance for Vancouver. The net finally off the magnets, but the Canucks came very, very close to taking a 2-goal lead.
Doug Lidster jumping in from the point. Petri Skriko, there's Lidster just coming into the picture. Bradley takes the shot. Lidster just missed the rebound off Mike Vernon.
And then Skriko had an opportunity. Another second, and he would have had a chance to poke it in.
Vernon makes a good save on Bradley. There's Lidster. He fanned on it. The Flames, Gary Suter knocks the post and Lidster off. Because Lidster was the last guy in hitting the net, the faceoff comes outside the blue line.
28 seconds left in Gilmore's penalty. Nordmark drops it back. Nordmark again, coming out. Shoots it down the ice, and Bradley picks it up. Fleury picks it up. He tried to clear it out of the zone. Down to center ice, and Lou brings it in over the line, but there's a penalty in behind the play. Maybe a pair of minor penalties on this play. So Kerry Fraser is not letting up. He's calling everything. That one right in front of him.
Jamie McCowan and Brian Bradley. McCowan grabbed the hold of Bradley. Make sure Bradley can't come back. Back checking. Bradley didn't like it, took a slash at him, and they both won.
Bridgman's goal was on a power play for Vancouver. It came at 11:01 from Linden and Adams. What a great pass by Linden to Bridgman, and he scored. Up to this point, with only 21 seconds left, the Canucks with a slight edge on the shots, 9-7. 19:39, the time of these penalties. And the face-off is going to be just inside the Vancouver blue line. 21 seconds left in the period. Gilmore will be on when the puck is dropped in. He has 1 second left. So he's ready. The gate ajar at the penalty box. Then 7 seconds after he's on, Sutter will have his penalty in. Into center ice. Gilmore is on the ice now. 15 seconds left in the period. It's Fleury trying to go in one more time for Calgary. At the line, he tried to go in himself. He did. Took a shot, blocked. And the rebound is right there. Bozak couldn't clear it out. Lou got it back to the line and fired in front. Fleury going after it just as the horn goes to end the period. And the Flames pressing. The score of the end of the first period is Vancouver Canucks 1 and the Calgary Flames. No score.
That's our flight.
It was too short, wasn't it? We were almost there.
You gotta be ready for everything when you drive. Bad weather, bad drivers. So many things that can't possibly happen, but always do. Guess that's why we bought Michelin's. We got them from the Michelin tire dealer. They sure know their stuff. Made me feel easier, getting the right Michelin's for our car. Am I overprotective? Well, the way I see it, I've got good reason to be.
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Meet the Dream Team.
Tell me this is a bad dream.
They're committed to truth.
We're a special combat unit with the United States Marine Corps. We've been tracking some Libyan terrorists.
Give me a break. Justice.
So we came to town to see a ball game. Now they want to give us the chair.
And a New Jersey mental institution.
All right, we're 4 escaped lunatics.
This I believe. Michael Keaton.
It's great to be young and insane.
Christopher Lloyd. The Dream Team.
You won't believe it. A wild oat and broadleaf herbicide that's gentle on wheat and barley but tough on wild oats. A wild oat herbicide that works under normal or dry conditions. A wild oat herbicide that alone controls broadleaf weeds and is tank mixable with 2,4-D ester and MCPA ester. A wild oat herbicide with an early 1 to 4 leaf application window. Assert. You won't believe it until you try it.
Welcome back to Vancouver, where after one period of play, it is the Vancouver Canucks leading the Calgary Flames 1-0 on a goal by Mel Bridgman, an assist from Trevor Linden, his first ever playoff point. Now let's check our playoff scoreboard, and it's a busy night, and there you see it. Edmonton defeating the LA Kings 4-3 on a goal by Smith with 26 seconds to play in the third period. The Oilers now lead that series 3-1, heading back to Los Angeles for game number 5. Now let's update the big overtime goal in Hartford. Montreal Canadiens against the Whalers. Patrick Waugh actually starts the play. Watch, it goes off the board. Now Whitmore makes a big mistake. He comes way out of his net to play the puck. The puck winds up on the stick of Courtnall. Courtnall takes his time, aims, fires, and there it is. The game and series winner for the Montreal Canadiens. Celebration for Courtnall. We'll look at it again. There you see Patrick Waugh starting the play, plays it off the boards. Now watch Whitmore. For whatever reason, he decides to come out, but he doesn't play it well. Winds up right on the stick of Courtnall. Courtnall taking no chances. Deadly aim. Montreal win that game and win the series in 4 straight, and now await the winner of the Boston Buffalo series. Now let's check some of the other scores tonight. There you see Montreal defeating Hartford 4-3 in overtime, and it was Russ Courtnall getting the winner. The Canadiens win that series in 4 straight. Boston beating Buffalo 3-2. That is a final. Cam Neely getting the winner for the 2nd straight game for the Boston Bruins. The Bruins lead that series by 3-1. Philadelphia knocking off the Washington Capitals 5-2. That series is now tied at 2. Pittsburgh eliminating the New York Rangers. Is Phil Esposito gone as president, general manager, and coach? A big win for the Penguins. They sweep that series in 4 straight, and who would have thought that? A big mistake perhaps by Phil Esposito when he fired his coach, Michel Bergeron. Pittsburgh 4, the Rangers 3. Chicago is leading Detroit 2-1. Murray and Gilbert have scored for the Blackhawks. Eisenman has the lone goal for Detroit. The Hawks lead that series 2-1. And Minnesota and St. Louis are deadlocked at 3 in the third period. Remember, the Blues have a 3-0 lead in that series, so the North Stars can ill afford to lose that one. Our first intermission continues after these messages.
Here's the leader in compact trucks, Ford Ranger, with features that make it outsell Mazda, GMC, and Chevy.
Go with the leader.
You're in 4-wheel drive at the touch of a button. Only Ranger 4x4 gives you this advanced system standard.
Go with the leader.
And Ranger beats Chevy S10 in standard horsepower and torque. It's Canada's best-selling compact truck.
Go with the leader.
Touring During April Truck Month, get 8.9% financing, plus save up to $2,435 on specially equipped Rangers.
Imagine you had the power to visit yourself in the future.
Wow. Nice boat. We win a lottery or something? No, we just took some advice from a London Life representative. But we don't like life insurance. Freedom 55 is more than life insurance. Here, hold this. A financial program protects the family and the future.
Imagine the freedom of Freedom 55. Talk to a London Life representative.
How's the wife? Not married yet. Won't be long.
Some things in life you just can't improve on, and this is one of them. Beeman's Chewing Gum.
CCM 651 Tax. The only skate with vacuform. Heat molded to the exact shape of your foot. The only skate with heel lace. Dual lacing that locks in perfect fit. To transmit your power and control directly where you need it most. Right into your game. 651 Tax by CCM. Turn on the power.
Here it is, sir, the Toshiba I was telling you about. Beautiful, isn't it?
It's awfully big.
Does big jobs. Word processing, spreadsheets, networking.
It's awfully big.
It's a Toshiba, biggest selling portable computer family in Canada.
It's awfully big.
Big on reliability. Best price performance.
It's awfully...
It's a Toshiba portable. The best.
It's awfully small.
Yeah, but it has inner bigness.
Don Cherry is still enjoying his stay here in Edmonton and obviously has not considered the possibility he could be selling fans out here a little bit short by wearing the same suit that you wore in Montreal on Thursday night, battery operated at that.
If we go to L.A., I'm going to the wool suits will not go good down in L.A., 105 down there.
You'll be a bit warm down there to be sure. I know that you feel that Game 3 of the Smythe Division semifinal between Edmonton and Los Angeles was over-officiated.
Yeah, and Koharski knows it. Koharski's got the game tonight, and he says, you better not be chirping at me. And I says, yeah, you call 37 penalties again, I'll be chirping at you. You know, it's a funny thing. I really give it to Newell last night. I'm coming down for breakfast, you know, we're coming down, I'm all by myself. Who steps on but Davy Newell? And you know, I've been thinking about that game last night, and I've been thinking about this series. I've been watching the monitors, I've watched all the games. Calgary, Vancouver, they let them go. Hartford and Montreal, they let them go, and you know what I mean by letting them go. And this game, you've got Asseltine, you've got Stickle, you've got all the older experienced, we'll call them experienced referees. And I wonder why. I'm thinking, wonder why. You know, Asseltine and Stickle, boom, big guys and everything like that. I think it's because Gretzky brought all the attention about fighting into the game. It shouldn't be fighting, and everything like that. And what's happened is they've got, okay, he doesn't want it. This is a number one. Everybody's going to be watch it and everything like that. So they brought these guys out here. They won't let it get started. Now, I think that has a lot to do with it. And you know what? I think he's hurt his club because they've got an intimidating club with those three guys. And why don't they let them go?
Well, I'll tell you what, let them go are the three most feared words in hockey for a lot of players.
Absolutely.
There's no question about that. But on the other hand, does not the let them go theory provoke the roller derby on ice atmosphere when you can have a fight at every break and play?
No. You know Brown's going to go with Miller. Somewhere along the line they're going to go. And if you had got it out of their system in the first game, you wouldn't have no problem at all. What happens is they keep breaking up. And I don't know if Brown I don't know if Brown and Miller want to go because they always hesitate. And this is what happens. I think one of the most ridiculous things in hockey today is this pushing and shoving after a whistle and at the end of a period. And I think it's because they try to break them up. I say let them go if they want to go and get the thing over with and get rid of all that nonsense.
4 games in 5 nights is a frantic pace in the first round of the playoffs. They're going to change it next year to alternate nights and not soon enough for you.
Well, you had Messier on last night. He was sitting there. I was sitting beside him. He says, you know, this is too much for an old fella. You know, he was kidding. He says, I didn't feel it the first 2 games. He says, but I felt it tonight. And he says, I'm starting to get tired with the heat and all that. And you know the funny thing about it, when you have 4 games in 5 nights, that 5th game and 6th game, you're going to see injuries because the guys are tired. I'm glad they're getting away with that. I don't know who'd come up with that dummy outfit.
Quickly, the Calgary Flames won Game 3 of their Smythe Division semifinal in Vancouver, but they had only 15 shots. That is not a Stanley Cup offense.
No, and how do they ever win? And if you ask me what's the most important thing in hockey, and everybody should say, they should say goaltending. All you have to do is look at Fuhr. I mean, Fuhr does the same thing. You know how many shots Edmonton had last night in the 3rd period? They were outshot 10-3, and nobody has said that at all. Grant Fuhr, most valuable player so far in the series.
He's Don Cherry, and those are his beeps in the Coach's Corner. Live on CBC, this is Molson Hockey Night in Canada and the Stanley Cup playoffs.
In Canada, a beer must be clean and cold. And it must have a genuine Canadian taste. Molson Canadian. What beer's all about.
You're looking sharp, you're looking good. You've come so far, and we know how to make the most of who you are. Father to son, it's what we've always done. Gillette.
The Gillette Atra Plus system with the Lubra Smooth Strip for the best a man can get.
In here, Bob.
Bills.
Yeah, tell me.
How does Fiji sound this year?
We can't afford Fiji.
2 free tickets to paradise.
What? How did you get that?
In the world of Canadian Plus, you can earn free trips fast. It's easy with our network of airline, rental car, and hotel partners, and our innovative credit card. Our world revolves around you.
When front-wheel drive was introduced, it promised a lot.
Front-wheel drive? Front-wheel drive.
But unless you align both your front and rear wheels, front-wheel drive can cause a problem. Increased rear tire wear.
Front-wheel drive.
At Canadian Tire, we specialize in computerized four-wheel alignment that helps restore all the excitement of front-wheel drive.
Trust Canadian Tire, Canada's #1 choice for wheel alignments.
You've never seen anything like it. It's Sears Days 89, and it's our best ever. Fantastic savings, values, and the kind of store-wide selection that makes this a sale worth celebrating. Everything from fashions to home furnishings. There's never been a better time to shop Sears. And remember, you could win a family vacation to the all-new Disney MGM Studios theme park in Florida and fly on Delta Airlines. Details at your retail store during Sears Days 89.
In Canada, a beer must be clean and cold. And it must have a genuine Canadian taste. Molson Canadian. What beer's all about.
On to Grassy Junior High, Joey gets into trouble.
Hey, you did that on purpose, you big dumb jerk.
To Grassy Junior High, tomorrow.